point, students. After the embryogenesis of urinary bladder, here we come up with the development of urinary bladder. We discuss the development of urinary bladder in 4 different points. The first point will be the entire mucosa of urinary bladder. Please note down the entire mucosa of urinary bladder except the trigone. Except the trigone will develop from endoderm of vesicourethral part of urogenital sinus or endoderm of vesicourethral segment. So the endoderm of vesicourethral part of urogenital sinus will develop the entire mucosa of urinary bladder except the trigone. Therefore, here we shall draw the structure simply, a very interesting structure. Here we are going to draw the vesicourethral portion. This is the vesicourethral portion, the pelvic, and then this will suffice as the phallic portion, pelvic and vesicourethral canal. So therefore, I will darken the border of vesicourethral segment. Then this will be the pelvic portion and the lower down dilated part will be the phallic portion, and we are going to name them as, this will be the vesicourethral part. Over here this will be the pelvic portion of urogenital sinus, and over here this will be the phallic portion of urogenital sinus. These points we have discussed in the earlier segments, embryogenesis of urinary bladder 1 and 2. So therefore now we are coming to the actual development of urinary bladder after understanding the previous segments of embryogenesis. So this entire mucosa of urinary bladder except the trigone where my hand is there, and that trigone area will be around at this portion. This is the trigone. Except this trigone of urinary bladder, the entire mucosa is developing from the endoderm of vesicourethral segment. So this vesicourethral segment here, endoderm, will develop into mucosa of urinary bladder except the trigone. That should be very clear. Now, if you come on this side, second point. This was the first point. Now the second point will be, now the apex of urinary bladder. Please note down. Apex of the urinary bladder will develop from the proximal part of allantoic diverticulum. Proximal segment of allantoic diverticulum. Please note down. And the distal segment of allantoic diverticulum will be fibrosed and it will be absorbed, but it will remain as a fibrous band which will connect the apex of urinary bladder to the umbilicus, and that fibrous band which will persist will be known as urachus. So therefore the apex of urinary bladder will develop from the absorbed part of proximal segment of allantoic diverticulum. What about distal segment? The distal segment will continue as fibrous cord which will be known as urachus. And this urachus is a remnant of allantoic diverticulum which will connect the apex of urinary bladder with that of the umbilicus. This is the second point. Now, third point. Third point is very interesting, the trigone. Trigone of urinary bladder. Triangle I have made to signify it as a trigone. This trigone of urinary bladder will develop from the absorbed parts of lower part of mesonephric ducts. The lower part of mesonephric ducts will be absorbed and they will develop into the trigone of urinary bladder. So therefore, if we show the trigone of urinary bladder green color, I will show that this trigone is limited to, this is the portion, this is the trigone. And in this trigone, if I give color here, it is developing from the absorption of the lower part of the mesonephric ducts. And these lower part of mesonephric ducts are absorbed to form the trigone. Therefore, this much portion is developed from mesoderm. because mesonephric ducts we know they have developed from mesoderm. Now here we need to show the mesonephric ducts. So therefore, if we show the mesonephric ducts over here, these are the mesonephric ducts, and if I show the mesonephric ducts in this way, the portion of mesonephric ducts from this side, they will develop into the ureteric buds. We know that, we have discussed this in the previous segments. These are the ureteric buds, and these ureteric buds, they are coming from they will later on develop into collecting portion of the kidneys. Now here we need to just mention this as ureteric bud. Over here we need to mention this as mesonephric duct. Now this entire portion of mesonephric duct and ureteric buds we have discussed in the development of the kidneys. Right now in the development of bladder, you need not mention any detailed development of mesonephric duct and ureteric buds. No, it is not necessary to mention the detailed portion. Simply you have to mention the caudal edge of mesonephric duct, these two, and their ureteric buds. Now this lower end will be absorbed to form the trigone. So therefore, here it will be completely absorbed. This portion will be completely absorbed. So instead of showing in dark color, we can show this portion in the form of dot cloud structure. These are the lower end of mesonephric ducts. Similarly, the ureteric bud you can show in dot structures. These are the lower end of ureteric buds. So this much portion over here, these are the absorbed portion of the lower end of the mesonephric ducts. These absorbed portions will contribute to the development of trigone of urinary bladder. So trigone of urinary bladder is mesodermal. Now here, second important point will be, after the absorption of caudal end of mesonephric ducts, the most caudal end of mesonephric ducts, as in the previous segment in embryogenesis, I have explained that they will open in the dorsal wall of the pelvic portion of the urogenital sinus. So therefore, the most caudal end of the mesonephric ducts, after absorption, they are opening where? In the pelvic portion, in the dorsal wall of pelvic portion of the urogenital sinus. So therefore, here I will mark this much area as pelvic wall, and I will mark this much area, as I have written, as phallic wall. So therefore, in the pelvic portion, the lower end of mesonephric ducts, caudalmost end of the mesonephric ducts will open. So here we show these two rounded openings in the dorsal wall of the pelvic portion of urogenital sinus that we have discussed in embryogenesis. So same second point, the most caudal end of the mesonephric ducts, after its absorption as trigone, will open in the dorsal wall of pelvic portion of urogenital sinus. Very simple, do not complicate. This already we have understood. Now the third important point. Because of the increase in size of bladder, now, because of the increase in size of bladder at this point, that is vesico-urethral part, what will happen will be the two ureteric buds will shift in the superior and lateral direction. They are shifting in the superior and lateral direction, so therefore they will have an independent openings. Both the ureteric buds will have independent openings, and these two ureteric buds, now here, these two ureteric buds will develop into ureters. They will open independently from the superolateral corners of the urinary bladder. So therefore, this will be now known as ureters. So the ureters will develop from ureteric buds. And now here, if I simply just mark this as vesico-urethral part, this is the vesico-urethral part, this much section. So therefore, now this trigone is developed completely from mesoderm because it is developed from the absorbed caudal end of mesonephric ducts, and therefore this trigone is not only limited to the posterior surface of the bladder. Remember, this trigone is located in the posterior surface of urinary bladder. So this trigone is not only limited on the posterior surface of urinary bladder, but it will also extend caudally. in the dorsal part of the proximal urethra. So in the dorsal wall of proximal urethra also this trigone will extend. Please note down this important point. Here the last point will be in the development of trigone. Currently it is believed that this trigone later on will be overlapped by endoderm, which will be contributed from the vesicourethral part. We know that the vesicourethral segment is endoderm because vesicourethral segment is developed from endoderm, that is urogenital sinus. Same endoderm will later on cover the entire trigone. That is the current belief. Now we come to the fourth important point. Now in the fourth important point, very simple. After understanding the mucosa, after understanding the apex of urinary bladder which develops from the absorbed part of the proximal part of allantoid diverticulum, and after understanding the trigone which is developed from the absorption of lower part of mesonephric ducts, the last segment is the musculature of the urinary bladder. So just note down the entire musculature of urinary bladder. Since urinary bladder consists of thick muscles, entire musculature and the remaining layers, be it connective tissue covering of the urinary bladder. So the entire musculature and connective tissue layer will develop from splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm. The splanchnopluric mesoderm, which is a layer of lateral plate mesoderm. So here, once again, this completes the development of urinary bladder. The first point is the entire mucosa of urinary bladder except the trigone will develop from endoderm. That endoderm is contributed from vesicourethral part. Note down, endoderm. Second point is apex of urinary bladder, which is developed by the absorption of the proximal segment of allantoid diverticulum. What about the distal segment? It will remain as urachus, and that urachus is developed from splanchnopluric mesoderm. That urachus will be developed from splanchnopluric mesoderm. Third point, trigone. The entire trigone, which is situated in the posterior segment, posterior part of urinary bladder, will develop from the absorption of the lower part of mesonephric ducts. And this trigone will extend on the dorsal part of the proximal urethra also. Therefore, this trigone will be mesodermal in development. And the fourth part will be the musculature and the other layers, the other structures of the urinary bladder, musculature as well as the other structures of urinary bladder except mucosa and trigone, will develop from splanchnopluric layer of lateral plate mesoderm, therefore mesodermal. So the entire urinary bladder, now these developmental 4 points are so many times asked in MCQs or in 1 mark question answer. Please note down these 4 points, they are asked so many times in MCQs or 1 mark question answer. So the entire bladder, this entire bladder will develop from only 2 germ layers, endoderm as well as mesoderm. Endoderm and mesoderm together will comprise in the development of urinary bladder. And here we complete the entire development of urinary bladder based on these 4 points. Thank you very much.